Instead of making new profile pics, just come do this.
No, I genuinely didn't.
Yeah, genuinely didn't. As he uploads it, it's gonna change any second.
Alright, let's go.
It's gonna be... How old is that picture? Hey guys, welcome back to Clueless Gamers. I'm Pete.
I'm Dylan.
And I'm Nick.
And today we were reviewing the movie Deadpool that just came out a couple days ago, and we're going to give some general impressions on it, what we thought about the film, and you can let us know in the comments below. General impressions for me, I would say this movie's fucking awesome. I mean, it's amazing. The cursing in this video actually fits for the R rating here. I think I read somewhere like 84 F-bombs in this movie. Ryan Reynolds was born to play this character. It finally brings Deadpool to life from the travesty that was the 2009 X-Men Wolverine Origins. We fixed that situation, and they even make fun of it in here. So I would say, great movie. Go out and see it.
Yeah, you know, it's not going to have a really great story, especially if you've seen the trailers. The story is good. It definitely holds up. But it's not like, I feel like in other terms of superhero movies, a lot of superhero movies, the story is like really gripping. This story, maybe it's not gripping, but what it lacks in the story makes up in environment, breaking the fourth wall, the comedy. It really is a very enjoyable movie.
Yeah, I would call it like a convergence of revenge movie meets comedy.
Definitely.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Whatever word that is, that's what it is. Going into likes here, there's a ton of them. I would absolutely say going for the R rating was the smartest thing. You need to do R rating of Deadpool. Yeah. I did actually like the flashbacks. Normally I don't like flashbacks. You know, Dylan's made it clear he hates prequels and all that stuff. But it worked well here. We go right off him doing, you know, the whole bridge scene and everything, crazy action. Wait, how did I get here? And we fill in that time. We fill in the whole relationship between him and Vanessa. And that was really nice to see how they came to be. You know, he starts off bringing her kind of to a little arcade thing and ends up in some pretty graphic sex scenes that ended up in this movie. Definitely don't take your kids to the movies for this. And it ends up going on from there of just seeing how they've proceeded over the months. He ends up asking her to marry him in a very kind of cool way of showing Ryan Reynolds' ass in the scene there. So that was pretty cool there. And you just get some great lines of just, you know, good Deadpool, bad Deadpool, and him counting how many shots he's shooting off, using his swords, and just the timing he has in this movie. Using characters like Blind Al to see in this movie was awesome. You know, you have kind of a villain in Ajax, but you know, who's kind of irrelevant in some way, and people were hoping for Cable, but, you know, that'll come later. But you have all these awesome moments there, and it was so enjoyable to finally see the suit and finally see the merc with the mouth, and that's what I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, I gotta say, and what you alluded to earlier, that I don't like prequels, I don't like flashbacks, I just like the story to be told linear. I know, kind of boring, unpopular opinion, but I gotta say, it worked. It really did work in this movie. And, you know, if you're someone who just doesn't like flashbacks like me because you know what's going to happen, or you don't like prequels because you know what's going to happen in the future, it doesn't really matter. This movie, it doesn't really lose any grip. I just played Uncharted 2. It did really well, Uncharted 2. I know, relating it to my, you know, giving myself a self-plug. But Uncharted 2 told that story very well, where even though it had flashbacks, it did it really well. So I'm definitely starting to become a little more, you know, not prone, but acceptable. Acceptable of flashbacks. Anyway, my likes is just the comedy. The comedy is great. Something that I really have always loved is breaking the fourth wall. I don't know why.
And he's the character that does it.
Yeah, I've always loved when characters break the fourth wall. I remember in a Mario game years ago when I was younger, they did it, and in Mario, and the stories are so simplistic. I forget what Mario game it was, but broke the fourth wall, thought it was the funniest thing. And in Deadpool, they do it a lot. The ending scene, you have to stay after the credits.
Stay after the credits.
Was fantastic. It's just great because he's telling you to leave, and then if you leave right when he tells you to leave, you're gonna miss the big spoiler. Who's gonna? So he doesn't really want you to leave, but it's just the comedy in the movie is just really fun. It really is a funny movie.
Absolutely fantastic.
It really is.
Yeah, it's great. And what I found the funniest, you know, breaking the fourth wall, already love it. But on top of that, they take it a step further with meta jokes. They put Deadpool in the real world and make jokes about, you know, the other X-Men movies. He jokes about the two actors that play Dr. Xavier, McAvoy and Stewart. And I don't get it at this point. I'm confused. And as someone who's watching him, yeah, exactly. And he does that so many times. He makes fun of the budget for the movie at some point. Like,
that
it's
was
just,
good.
it's incredible.
It's just very unique humor.
Oh
It
yeah,
really
and even
is.
starting from the intro, from like,
Oh, that's right. It's
credits,
true with the credits.
It's like
amazing.
some douchebag's movie. It's like it's amazing.
Absolutely amazing. I would actually say another like in here that I forgot to mention is Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I think for both of them being different characters, maybe a lot of people don't know. People know Colossus in some ways, but he was kind of one of the things that wasn't done well, in my opinion, in this new reboot of First Class and then Days of Futures Past. It's nice to see him having the accent and being Colossus and him having the demeanor of kind of this good person, but he'll still kick your ass and
Right.
things like that. I did like Ajax in this film. I don't know the actor's name. And Gina Carano was also really good in this film as well. I did enjoy that. And you also have those meta jokes of he comes to the house to get Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Right.
And he goes, like, wow, it's a big house. It's so weird that there's only we ever see two of you. It's like the studio couldn't afford any more X-Men.
Yeah,
Like
that
those
was a great
are
joke, yeah.
great lines.
Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love stuff
It
like
is.
that.
It's just, I mean, you said I didn't know anything about Deadpool. I don't know a lot about like the Marvel Universe, DC Universe, but I always loved these movies. And you told me that this is what you got to expect with Deadpool, and it did not disappoint me.
I just even little things. T.J. Miller is fantastic in this movie.
yeah.
Of him in the bar having the Deadpool betting thing is how he gets his name. Even the great one that made me laugh, that actually didn't make a lot of people laugh in the movie theaters because probably a lot of people didn't get it, was he comes in and he smacks the guy in the back and he just goes, "Fuck Leinfeld," and I laugh because that's Deadpool's like main writer. He just fucked off. He said "fuck off" to his own writer in his own movie.
That was when you whispered.
Oh yeah,
like,
those are fucking hilarious things. That it's like, man, Ryan Reynolds was born to play this character. It took him 11 years to get it right, but damn, he did it. And he even said that he stole a suit from the set. Well, he deserved it. I definitely think he did.
Yeah.
Going into dislikes for me, there's not too many. I do think the story is a little weak at times. It kind of for me in the middle. The torture scenes don't bother me. I could see how they bother someone else. And some critics have talked about that. They're very graphic. This is definitely not a movie to bring children to. I know there was a huge petition online where this mother was trying to get her younger, I think, believed son, who was like 7 or 8 years old, saying, "Oh, he loves Deadpool." She wanted the studio to make another cut version that was PG-13. Deadpool's not PG-13.
Yeah, it's
if your
not.
son knows anything about Deadpool, even the game to the comics, they are not PG-13, and this movie shouldn't be PG-13. And you should definitely, I would say under 15, kids should not be taking this movie. That's not a dislike for me, that's just a disadvantage of the movie. That's why R-rated movies don't make as much money, and that was the whole controversy of should they make it R-rated. There's a character you have to make R-rated.
Well, sorry to interrupt you, but also it was banned in China, which is a massive.
Oh
market.
yeah, which is a
And it's
huge
banned
strike that
countrywide,
it
so
took to do it.
that's,
Which
to add to your
really
point.
sucks for the Chinese audience, who were definitely people wanting to see it.
Yeah.
But the torture scenes are rough, and that middle of the movie where you're kind of flashing back, the flashbacks work, but some of the movie does drag in that sense where you're missing the comedic timing and you're missing these jokes and you're just watching these horrific torture scenes. And I understand it's an origin movie and a proper one, and we need to understand how Deadpool got to be, but they could have made it maybe a little bit more cohesive of a story there. There's one part of the movie where there's like a full 15 minutes we spend in the past in that torture room until we cut back, and then we cut back a little bit of time and we're back there. Like, those are the points where it was just a little bit of problems of pacing for me. But really, there wasn't like a joke that I could say like, "Oh man, that didn't hit." Like, everything worked in this movie. That's just a little minor quibble I had with it.
You just alluded to it,
Yeah.
where the whole torture scenes don't bother you. Those scenes make me a little queasy. And
That was graphic.
yeah,
Very graphic.
yeah, and I've never been one of like a slasher movie.
Yeah.
Like enjoyed the Saw movies. I would never watch them.
Yeah.
They just even the concept just kind of disturbs me. I know some people really do like that, and they're into those dark themes. But with me, it was disturbing, and I thought you said it right on the money, where that torture scene and that flashback scene where he leaves his fiance at that time to get the operation done. It did feel like it dragged, and I felt like there wasn't a good amount of comedy in that scene.
Yeah.
And the comedy was mainly after he put the suit on and after that whole scene took off, which was the pro for me, the main pro for me, the comedy. That's what I loved about the movie. So if I had to pick a dislike, that's probably the major one. If those kind of scenes make you a little uneasy, you're probably going to feel it.
And that's also what I'm saying, is I'm not saying that I didn't like the torture or anything else. I'm just saying I could see how people could see that's rough. The main problem I have in those scenes is just the story's kind of slow. And this is completely nitpicking. This is a great film, I think we could all agree.
Yeah.
But if you have to look at it, that is a point where there was just a problem with pacing where I understand that not all of this should be jokes, even though it's Deadpool. This is a serious thing that happened to him. The way he ended up looking, the torture he had to go through to get the powers to it, and the sacrifices made, I get that. But you need to make it a little bit more, I don't know, connective with the audience in a way. Because it just lacked a little bit. We were sitting in a theater where, there's some rough scenes, but also it's a little boring in a way that, we were all silent in that theater. And we had a packed theater.
Yeah.
Oh, it was filmed.
What would you say dislikes are?
Well, before I go into dislikes, I just want to address the torture scenes since you guys talked about it. Most of them didn't bother me. Like the ones that you would think bother most people didn't bother me. The one that bothered me the most was the where you couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
That, like you cringe when you see the painful things, and you're like, whatever.
The serum in the needles.
Yeah, but then they do that, and it made me seriously uncomfortable.
That's how he became Deadpool, was in that thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was the most painful part. Like if you're claustrophobic or have fear of suffocating. It gets rough. It gets very rough there. But otherwise, I didn't have many dislikes, and I'd say the only thing I had a slight quip with was pacing as well. Some parts seemed paced too slow, and then towards the end it seemed rushed.
How it ramped up at the end.
It's all of a sudden everything happens because it takes you out of the flashbacks, out of the present day to where you're following up with them, and then it's just everything happens at once.
Well, I feel like after the flashback, there's probably only about 20 minutes of the movie.
Exactly.
That's
it.
Because then he goes to the house, he gets them, collects all his guns,
and then does the final fights.
Yeah, and he goes and then forgets the guns in the taxi. That was great. You had all these little things of just him with the cabbie. What was his name? Dupinder, whatever his name is.
We don't even know what happens to him.
We don't even know what happens to him. He ends up convincing him to lock a guy in the trunk.
His cousin, his own cousin, I think.
Oh yeah,
and then someone rear ends him.
Right.
You can assume they most likely dies or seriously injured.
And that's because of Wade Wilson. Those were great moments. You had just other tiny things. The other thing I didn't like was, I know it's a comic book movie, I understand. But when Vanessa's in the case and she flies off
and the case
falls
is perfectly fine,
hundreds of feet, you would be dead. I understand you would be. I understand comic book movie, but you would be dead.
I mean, that could have been completely unharmed.
Could have been a little better that maybe he latches onto the bottom of it and he absorbs it because he can't really get hurt. There could have been something you could have explained that, but that's. Again, very, very nitpicking. Mm-hmm. I would say going into ratings, if we don't have anything else here, this is a 9. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. This is a great movie. Go out and see it. Support Deadpool. And try to get them to $100 million on this holiday weekend. That's what I really want to say.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, the movie's a success. I mean, you told me about the sales from opening night.
Broke records of Thursday midnight, 12.7 million, I believe, which broke the Hangover 2 record.
Yeah, so, I mean, for an R-rated movie that's banned in China, that's pretty damn good.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, so, movie is really good. I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I thought the story was, for a 9 for me is just, it's great all around. 8 is still really good. I really enjoyed the movie, and I absolutely recommend to see it. But it's just the lacking in the story, that's what kind of... that's what kind of refutes it from being a 9 or a 9.
Well, the 9 for me, the other 9 I gave on this channel was Star Wars The Force Awakens, and that was the first Star Wars movie I seen. And I walked out of both of these movies having different experiences, but equally enjoying them. That's why I had to go 9, because I had more of an experience of Deadpool, of laughing and stuff, but there was a lot of great dramatic scenes of seeing the space opera of Star Wars, and they were both amazing to me.
Both good movies in their own way.
Exactly.
I'm probably going to have to say an 8.5. I would give it a 9, but 9 and up is really what I reserve for timeless films. I just watched American Beauty for the first time.
Yeah.
That would constitute a 9 and up there. But
Lord of the Rings.
Deadpool, I did freaking love, but 8.5 seems like a right place for it.
That's fair. I definitely think it's fair. I think right now it's sitting at about 84% of Rotten Tomato, which is pretty good. I know there was I was reading some critic reviews. Some people didn't like kind of the raunchy comedy and all this jokes, and I'm like, what the hell are you going to see? That's Deadpool. That's the hero. So maybe those are just kind of more the intellectual film reviewers that just weren't kind of feeling what they were going for. Right. But that's kind of our thoughts here, guys, on Deadpool. Absolutely go out and see this movie. It is so damn good. Yeah. Let us know what you thought down in the comments below. Did you think the film was great? Any quibbles with it? Any thoughts that you agree with here? Anything else? Let us know down below. Maybe anything we missed. Let us know down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends if you'd be so kind. And until next time, thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks.